If you thought the Eternals star Gemma Chan looks familiar, that's because this isn't her first Marvel movie. This actress also played the role of Minn-Evra in the movie Captain Marvel. But this time around, she'll probably be a little less blue. Well, the color blue anyway, I can't speak about her emotional state. The Eternals aren't exactly the most well-known heroes, so let's take a closer look at Cersei, what she'll be like in the movie, and what she has to do with the Black Knight. This character definitely has a lot more longevity than Minn-Evra did. If you don't recognize Gemma Chan without being covered in blue face paint, I don't blame you, but she looks much more human on the set of the Eternals. But even though Cersei looks like your standard issue human being, she's really anything but. As you've probably guessed, Cersei is one of the Eternals, and by their standards, she's actually considered pretty young. This means she'll probably be only a few thousand years old in the movie, if not a few 100,000 years old. Cersei was hanging around on Earth during the events of the Odyssey. She was the one who turned Odysseus' friends into pigs before she fell in love with him and agreed to turn them all back into men. Ah, the crazy things we do for love. But Cersei's love life only gets crazier. She was around for other notable events throughout history, including Nero's burning of Rome and the days of King Arthur. Kevin Feige has claimed that the Eternals movie will fill in some gaps in the MCU's history, so it's possible we'll see Cersei around during some of these moments. But in more modern times, Cersei lives in New York City, just like many other heroes. She even integrates herself with the Avengers, inviting them to parties and even flirting with Captain America. So basically, she just totally lives the dream. When the Eternal Gilgamesh was injured, Cersei replaced him as an official member of the Avengers. But her time with the team wasn't without incident. Her friends started noticing troubling changes in her behavior. Cersei started becoming unpredictable and aggressive, often going way over the line when dealing with enemies. Her fellow Eternals believed her behavior had something to do with the time she linked up with a kind of telepathic bacteria called the Brethren Unimind. They thought Cersei's actions had caused her to become afflicted with a kind of madness that can affect Eternals. So what's the absolute best way to heal when you're struggling with your precarious sanity and feeling increasingly out of control? If you guess jump headfirst into a major committed relationship, well, you should probably reconsider that method. As you're about to find out, it didn't work particularly well for Cersei. She had feelings for Dante Whitman, also known as the Black Knight. We know that Game of Thrones star Kit Harington will be playing the role of Dane in the Eternals, and there have been photos captured on set of Gemma and Kit locking lips. Kit's fictional romances don't usually work out too well, and this one may not be an exception. In the comic books, Cersei is head over heels for Dane, who is in love with Crystal. He does have feelings for Cersei too, which is why he agrees to help her out. Her fellow Eternals hope that having her enter into a soul bond with the Black Knight would help her with her issues. Again, I'd like to reiterate never to try this in real life. I told you her dating life would get crazier than turning dudes into pigs. The Eternals hoped that bonding their thought waves would help quiet Cersei's troubled mind. As if poor Cersei wasn't under enough stress, she was being tormented by an evil parallel version of Dane called Proctor. In this universe, he was rejected by that version of Cersei and handled the situation rationally. Just kidding, he started stalking Cersei across the multiverse and managed to get into the mind of the Cersei on this timeline. He started manipulating her mind, which caused Cersei's already tenuous grasp on her sanity to loosen. But don't let all of this romance and craziness fool you. Cersei isn't weak. In fact, she confronted Proctor and destroyed him with his own version of the Ebony Blade. Just to add insult to injury. Because she still wasn't 100% confident in her mental state, she willingly exiled herself and Dane went along with her. This was a good idea in theory, until she ended up being possessed by the Infinity Gems in the Ultraverse. After some time traveling shenanigans, Cersei and Dane finally ended up in the right place on the right timeline, and then they kinda grew apart. Apparently, even a soul bond isn't enough to make someone stay if things just aren't working nowadays. Cersei eventually gets back to saving the day along with her fellow Eternals and starts going by the name Mesmer. It's hard to say just what elements of Cersei's crazy comic book story will make it onto the big screen. It seems like her romance with Dane will be incorporated, but to what extent remains unclear. Is their lip lock a celebratory one, or the result of a passionate goodbye? According to actor Kumail Nanjiani, who plays the role of the Eternal Kingo, this is going to be the most epic Marvel movie yet. He reiterated that the story will span thousands of years and will be the most sci-fi of all Marvel movies. So maybe the Eternals won't shy away from the full-on weirdness from the comics. At one point in the source material, Cersei loses her mind at the hands of the Eternal Sprite and lives her life as a party planner. Eventually, she gets her memories back, but decides to keep living it up as a socialite instead of going back to the Avengers. The Eternals are powerful characters, and it remains to be seen if Cersei will step up as a hero when the time comes, if she's even still on the planet Earth. What do you think is going to happen in the Eternals? What elements of her comic book counterpart do you think will be incorporated into the movie, and which one will be left behind? Share your predictions with us in the comment section below, and then click on that subscribe-ly-do for more videos from CBR. Bye for now.